Friday. Oh my God, what a night. Shit, I never thought I'd be going live tonight. So, excuse me. I mean, my allergies are acting up. So if I start hacking and coughing, I'm sorry. But yeah. So the New York Knicks are finally, finally, and I'm gonna keep going or else it'll take forever. Going to the NBA Finals.
Let's
So what
fucking
we're going
go.
Yeah, this is gonna be. It starts June 2nd, which is I think what the Knicks gonna have 8 or 9 days off in between. So yeah, so first thing we'll do is talk about the playoffs. There's not a lot to talk about honestly because they eviscerated the Eastern Conference, absolutely crushed them, and advanced. There's not really much to talk about there because it was just a humiliating, ass kicking, drubbing, evisceration, whatever you want to call it. That's what happened here. So we're also gonna, I say preview the finals, but we don't know what team we're gonna face
Yeah,
yet, so
yeah,
we
yeah.
really can't do that.
I
So
just hope for now that series goes 7 games.
yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too, 6 or 7, and they beat up on each other all day or throughout the entire series. So, yeah, and then we'll also give our predictions. But again, that's the same issue. We don't know what team's going to the finals yet, and then I think we'll wrap up in an hour or so. So, can barely breathe. Yeah. So let's start with the playoffs because that's not gonna take us long. So the first round, it seemed like it wasn't going well. They're down 2 games to 1, and all of a sudden they lost to the Hawks twice by 1 point. So it wasn't like they got their asses kicked. They didn't. They just got unlucky, basically. So, excuse me. After that, they turned the switch. It's like, you know what? Fuck this. We're done.
Whatever Mike Brown did after Game 3, I mean, they haven't looked back since.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, I'm gonna have to give Mike Brown his props. That's nothing I'm gonna have to do, but I'll do it later.
I kept
But
telling you, Joe. I kept telling you.
yeah, you did, to be fair, but yeah. So after that game 3, the team went like, you know what, fuck this, and they crushed the Hawks. They proceeded to crush the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers had no chance. I mean,
Yeah.
after game 1, it was like
Mhm.
they beat the Sixers by 20, 30 points all 4 games, and
I gotta
then
wonder how the Celtics lost to that team.
yeah, I don't know, but after they ran into the Knicks. It was like, is that the same team that beat the Celtics? I mean, my God, it's not. It's definitely not. And then get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it seems like the Cavaliers are like, oh, they're gonna beat the Knicks game
Yeah.
1. They took home field, or I mean, home court is not good. Then here comes Jalen Brunson doing what he does, and the James Harden special, the Ole defense that he plays,
Just
and
like
then
the opposite of what
okay,
the Pacers did to the Knicks last year.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm
Hey,
gonna get to that.
Cavaliers, it's for you.
Uh huh. Yeah, to be fair, the Knicks choked in game 1 last year. I mean, they're up 20 plus points to the Pacers, and they blew that lead in the
Finally
second
move
half.
on from that series.
Yeah, because that was brutal. And quite frankly, the Pacers would proceed to lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which wasn't surprising. It was like, oh, they're going to lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had no chance. And that's like what happened. Excuse me. So, yeah. So now we Brunson came back. The Knicks came back, excuse me, and he did most of the scoring though. So the Knicks came back and they won game 1 in overtime. After that, I knew it was over because a basketball fan. How do you recover from that? The Knicks didn't recover from that last year, so it was like, how do you? But I didn't want to say anything and jinx it. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. We're gonna watch the
How
series, and
awful was Kenny Atkinson this
oh
series?
God,
But
game one, game one. Did you see? He only called one timeout throughout the
yeah,
Knicks comeback, and I'm like, dude, call
his
timeout, make an adjustment.
press conferences were a disaster as well.
Like, dude, just make an adjustment. Stop leaving James Harden in an island against Jalen Brunson. He had no chance. We all knew he had no chance.
And in all the losses in his press conference, even you may have saw the what I posted. He smiled in the press conference one last time tonight.
He went down. Look, he went down with James Harden. He went down with the ship. He said, "I believe in James Harden." It's like, dude, this is not 2018 James Harden. He's 37. He has a player option for like $47 million. He's gonna pick up that option. There's
But I
no
guess,
chance that.
analytically, the series is tied at 2.
Well, yeah. I mean, the analytics, that's very important. So yeah.
And you gotta
So
almost
after
wonder how the Pistons lost to that team.
again, the Pistons were they the real number one seed, or because of the injuries to all the other teams in the Eastern Conference that. And the Knicks also were inconsistent this season. So throughout the year, they were great some games. They were just awful in other games. It was like
Oh, remember
they
when
just
they had that losing streak, 8 or 9 games or whatever it was? Well,
yeah. It
remember
was like yeah. I was like, this is not a team to make a run to the NBA Finals. I'd be shocked if they get out of the first round. Honestly, I mean, they were so inconsistent. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden the playoffs come, and it's like, but where was this team all year? Look, I'll take it. Now in the playoffs, you get hot at the right time. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, where was this team the entire year? I'm
Don't
like,
forget they won the NBA Cup earlier
yeah,
on.
they won the NBA Cup too, and I like the fact that they didn't put up a banner for the NBA Cup
Yeah,
because it'd be like, look, it's like, you kidding me? You're putting up a
yeah.
banner? That's how
I'm like,
desperate you are, you know?
cool, but let's win the NBA Finals. That's
Yeah, yeah. So look, I don't mind winning the NBA Cup. That's great, but ultimately, it's like putting up a banner. You're that desperate, and it
you know
shows how much you.
we could face it against the Spurs again. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, we beat them in that
and at
in that NBA
last
Cup.
finals, there was the Spurs and
It was
27.
the Spurs, and look, and I was a teenager, and I remember this, and they're like, oh yeah, the Knicks have no chance. I mean, it's great to get to the finals, but it's the Spurs, it's Tim Duncan, it's David Robinson. They're on their prime. Mario Elliott, I believe his name, shooting threes. I mean, it was like, it's over. Like, hey, at least we got here. That's my attitude then. And I watched all 4 games. Like, yeah, that's what I expect is going to happen. So, excuse me. So, yeah, I do have to give it up for Landry Shamet. Holy crap, that guy came out of nowhere. It was like he signed a non-guaranteed contract for the Knicks, and went from that to just being a sharpshooter from 3. Like it felt like he didn't miss at all. It was every time he shot,
Yeah,
it was in. I
yeah.
mean,
It seemed
thank
like
you to him.
he never missed a 3. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was like it seemed like he never missed one. It was like every time he put it up and went in, no matter when he's wide open or he was guarded. He was because to be fair, he's wide open most of the series. The Cavaliers did nothing really to defend him, so it wasn't like he was. It was difficult to make these threes, and
Also, I
throughout the
forgot to
playoffs he
ask
did.
you earlier, but I assume Dave's not able to come on.
No, I didn't hear from him, so I guess he's probably sleeping right now. The game's over, so he went to bed. But yeah, well, what I like to do is when we see what team makes the finals, we do a real preview of the finals and real prediction to see who's gonna win. Because right now, I think the Knicks are so hot they can beat either team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes, on paper, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Spurs are better than the Knicks. That's definitely
but
true. That's
everyone
on
keeps
paper.
doubting the Knicks.
I
Just
know.
keep doing it, guys. Keep doing it.
Yeah, I know. Hell, I doubted the Knicks. Let's be honest. I mean, I'm a
Or
Knicks fan,
I
but I
just think
doubted
during
them.
the playoffs, even the haters are like, "Oh, they're not. They're getting swept. They're
Yeah,
not winning." Like, come on, keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. We keep.
yeah. Keep that hate coming because they've been 11-game winning streak. They eviscerated the East after those 2 losses to the Hawks, and it feel like I think what year did the Lakers go 15-1 in the playoffs? I think it was
2001.
yeah,
Uh,
that was it. When the one with Iverson in the finals,
yeah,
they only had 1 loss, which was to Allen Iverson in Game 1 because
yeah.
he went off. He did what he did. So, and after that, excuse me, after that, the Lakers crushed him and it was over. But they got that one game at least.
Wasn't just the Knicks winning tonight. The Yankees had a nice comeback win earlier today. So
Yeah, the Yankees did win tonight,
how
so
about
today,
Volpe?
so that's
He isn't
good.
doing too bad ever since he got called up.
Yeah, I mean he's been solid. I mean I prefer Caballeros as shortstop, but knowing the Yankees, he probably won't get his job back anyway. So let's stick with Volpe. So, um, yeah, that's so. I also have to give it up to the bench. The Knicks bench was great. I mean, they can roll out 10 guys deep. I mean, that's how good that bench is right now.
Yeah,
They can roll out 10 guys. So to be fair, last year during the Eastern Conference Finals, not D'Antoni, excuse me. What's his face? Thibodeau.
yeah.
Thibodeau rolled out only 6 guys, and that was an issue. I mean, the Knicks were tired last year in the Eastern Conference Finals,
He's got to
and
be punching air right now.
Yeah, because he's an old school head coach where he just doesn't use his bench much, and it was an issue. I mean, it was an issue, and it continued being an issue throughout the playoffs last year. So that's why I'm like, I hated the fact that he got fired because I liked him, but at the same time, it's like
Yeah.
he doesn't adjust to the
Well, yeah,
modern
I admit
NBA.
at the time I thought I don't know if that's the right call, but obviously
Yeah,
Leon Rose, that's his name, right? Leon Rose.
yeah,
He
it's his
knew what
name.
he was doing.
Oh, sorry.
Hope you get
So yeah, so let's start. I mean, post the Patrick Ewing era, this Knicks team was awful. It was just awful. It was after James Dolan took over from his dad. The Knicks were just awful. They were like, I mean, remember after the Patrick Ewing era, they hired Lenny Wilkins as head coach. They hired Mike
Isaiah
D'Antoni, the
Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas. Oh my God, that's not even. I don't know how Isaiah Thomas kept the job for so long. But he must have pictures of James Dolan or something because there's no way he could keep that job for so long and the Knicks be so terrible. Oh yeah, Isaiah Thomas traded for Stephon Marbury. Remember how that turned out? um, Stevie Francis, he got him too. It's like, okay, so you got a backcourt of two ball dominant guards, and you wonder why that didn't work. Like Isaiah, you played in the NBA. You should know that you can't have two guards that are ball dominant because that's not going to work. And these guys have massive egos too, so that definitely didn't work.
Also,
So,
remember when Phil Jackson was the
oh
what
fuck
was he,
yeah,
the
I
general
do.
manager or
He
whatever?
was the president of basketball operations. So yeah, technically GM to say yeah. So I remember. Oh, those drafts were terrible. Frank Ntilikina, fucking Kevin Knox. I mean, terrible. I
Also,
mean,
don't
it's like,
forget that player when he was attempting that 3-point shot. That the announcer like, what is he doing? Why would he
oh,
shoot the
Bargnani.
ball?
That's Andrea Bargnani, which was
Yeah,
another awful trade. I mean, it was like really, Andrea Bargnani sucks. I mean, he's just he plays that European style, which doesn't really work. Didn't work in the NBA at the time he played. It
yeah,
could have worked today because today big men shoot threes, but
yeah.
and they
Yeah, I
spread the
remember
floor. But
watching it be a long time ago. You never saw centers shoot threes, and now all of a sudden
no,
it's common in the NBA
yeah,
now.
you a center has to shoot threes or at least be competent at it. You don't have to
Or
be
I
Steph
think
Curry,
Townsend's
but
become a really good 3-pointer.
oh yeah, yeah. Cat is an excellent 3 point shooter. I mean, there are times where he falls in love with the three, doesn't get in the paint enough, but that doesn't happen in these playoffs. But there are times where he falls in love with the three and
Yeah.
just refuses to go in the paint, even though he's 7 feet tall. But oh, by the way, Cat's defense has been great. I mean, again, he doesn't really play much defense, but in this playoffs, it's like, wait, where did this come from? It's
He's
like,
still
damn. I
got
mean,
he's still got to work on the fouls though. Just a
well,
little
yeah,
much
the
there.
silly fouls he does it like that's not good either. So yeah, I agree with that for sure. Um, Josh Hart does what Josh Hart does. Miles McBride, another one coming off the bench hitting threes. So
And of course
yeah,
the Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. Look, here's the thing with him. I think people have been saying this for a while. Everybody thinks players are better than Jalen Brunson until it's time to be better than Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
It's not on the court. It's not going to happen usually.
yeah.
So on paper, on paper, Jalen Brunson, and when you watch him play, it's like, yeah, he's not that athletic. He can shoot, but it's hard to, it doesn't seem like when they Knicks signed him, I thought it was a massive overpay. It's like, okay, he was coming off the bench for the Mavericks. He was behind Luka Doncic. I mean, as we finally got a real point guard, but it seems like a massive overpay, and it's not going to work. But again, I was horribly wrong. It's like, where did this? Yeah, he just turned into a superstar, like in the Knicks, and he's still, he's sneaky fast. He can get by guys. He can get by the best guards in the league. So it's even though he doesn't seem to be that fast. So John Brunson been amazing. He coming here is the catalyst for this Knicks team. I mean, him coming here led to other guys wanting to be here because the Knicks started winning finally. And by the way, Leon Rose done a fantastic job. I mean, it's like when they first hired him, he's like, oh man, he's a sports agent. He's never been an executive before. It's another Phil Jackson. That's what I thought. Again, I was wrong, of course. But he's another Phil Jackson. I thought it's a terrible hire. And I was like, oh man, it turns out that I was totally wrong on that again. Again, to be fair to me, basketball is not my number one sport. It's baseball, but I still enjoy it.
Mine,
You know,
it's not
so
mine either. So
yeah. So I've been wrong quite a bit recently when it comes to the Knicks. So yeah, I mean, it's like okay, so what are the Cavaliers gonna do now? They can't keep Harden and Donovan Mitchell together. They've been terrible, especially in these playoffs.
they can't bring
Donovan Mitchell.
Braun back. I think maybe I don't know, but
Harden has a player option, so he's probably going to pick that up. They're
but
like
I'd be
47
shocked
million.
if they keep Kenny Atkinson because he was. I mean, he
Excuse
may
me.
have taken them to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I mean, he was just
He was awful. Yeah,
just awful, man.
he was outcoached by Mike Brown. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? I mean, again, I'm shitting on Mike Brown. I shouldn't be at this point because I remember telling you if they make the finals, then I'll give him this props. So, like, I'm still like shitting on him, even though I probably shouldn't be, to be fair. But yeah, so the Cavaliers have to get rid of Atkinson. I agree with that. I mean,
What is it with New York teams beating Cleveland teams? It's so funny.
yeah, it's recent history. That's happened a lot of times,
Yeah.
and they got to find a way to get rid of Harden because he's not prime Harden anymore, and
He's way overrated, in my opinion.
he was back in his prime. He was a great offensive player, but he never played defense. Like he had that Olay defense. Even then, he refused to play
Yeah, he's
defense.
like, oh, you know.
Like he hated playing defense. Like he
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get the ball in his hands again so he could shoot. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to play defense.
Atkinson, though.
Mm-mm. He's going down with that ship. Like he trusted Harden to the point where it was laughably ridiculous. Like Cleveland Cavaliers fans were frustrated. It's like I've seen their videos and on Twitter, and it's like either bench Harden in that situation or give him help in game one, and they just Atkinson never made an adjustment. So now he's probably going to pick up that option. He has a no trade clause too. So which team's going to take Harden? Even if they try to trade him, no one, no NBA team's going to take on James Harden.
I
So the
forgot to say earlier that after when the Knicks went up by 29 earlier, and then when the league was starting to shrink to like 16, I was like, "Come on, Knicks, stop fucking around," you know. And then they went on.
I mean, they have a point differential of 277 points in 11 straight wins. It's insane. They after game 2 against the Hawks, it was like none of these games been competitive.
After game
Not
three.
a single one.
After game
Game 3. Yeah, sorry. None of these games have been competitive. The Knicks came out and just destroyed the rest of the Eastern Conference. I mean, it was like it seemed like after game they were done. Like no, we can't lose to the Hawks.
When Shaq was trying to revive the Hawk mascot or toy, whatever.
Yeah, it was like they went down 2-1 to the Hawks, and I thought, oh fuck, here we go. If they lose in the first round, we pissed. But luckily, they did what they did, and they absolutely destroyed the Hawks and then destroyed the Sixers. The Sixers had no chance. It was like, what are they doing here? It's like Joel Embiid looked old. What's the other guy? Maxwell's his name. I mean, he was okay, but
whatever his name is.
Yeah, the point guard. He's young still.
Maxey,
I think Maxey or Maxwell. Something I know. You know what I'm talking about. You guys. Yeah, so he was okay, but Joel Embiid looked old. Like he just looked like he was done. Like problem is the Sixers are stuck with him too unless they find a trade partner somehow. So, because I think they need to start thinking about rebuilding again.
Saw earlier in the Inside the NBA halftime show when Shaq and who's that other guy? There,
Kenny Smith.
Yeah, when they were singing New York, New York.
Yeah, excuse me. It was over by halftime. I didn't say anything. I wouldn't jinx it, but at that point, it was over.
The Cavs were starting to come back, but I was like, "Come on, Nick, stop doing it." But then once they went on the run,
they went on that, what was it, 18-0 run or something? That was a crazy run. Yeah, so it was like, okay, now it's over. Like, it's over. So let's see.
How about that? 3 straight series. Mike Brown, he's able to use the bench to end this series for all of them.
Yeah. I mean, by like the 8 minute mark or the fourth quarter, you start seeing like the bench coming on, and they're like, oh, Mike Brown knows it's over and he wants to rest his guys, but they already have 8 days. I get it. Look, I don't want a repeat of Derrick Rose with the Bulls when they were up like 10 and he's still out there with 2 minutes to play and he blows
Yeah.
out his knee and he never was the same again. So
Mhm.
again, who coached that team? Mike Thibodeau. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, I get it. So I understand what Mike Brown was thinking there. It's like, yeah, get the guys out, get them off their feet. They're gonna have 8 days off anyways, or 9 days off. So just make sure they're healthy and they're rested for the finals. Problem is they can't be too rested.
Right.
They were pretty
I think they
lethargic in the.
went through that earlier, so now they know what
They
it's.
have that experience, yeah,
Yeah.
but they were pretty lethargic in that first half against the Cavs. That's why it went down 20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ah, shit. Here they're gonna lose game one. Cavs gonna get home court, and then Brunson did what Brunson did, and Harden did what Harden
It's
did.
so
So we
funny
discussed
how
that already.
went for the Knicks compared to the Pacers last year.
Yeah, it was the reverse game one. So we got that monkey offer back, and
And also,
now,
what also helped was Mike Breen calling the series.
yeah, that's the thing. Mike Breen's gonna call the finals too, I assume,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's a Knicks play-by-play guy. So it's gonna be nice to hear him, not some neutral guy. And to be fair, he has to be neutral. He's on ESPN, but still, I mean,
and we don't have to deal with Reggie Miller again.
oh god, Reggie Miller is like he's biased against the Knicks, and I get it. He played for the Pacers. They had that rivalry for years. So this is what this is what the Knicks did to the Eastern Conference.
I will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you!
Wait, sorry, I couldn't really hear it very well.
I have played it. Yeah.
I will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you!
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's from Full Metal Jacket, one of my favorite movies. So that's what the Knicks did to the Eastern Conference during this playoff run. So let's see. Let's see what else. It's. I mean, all right. Now I got to give props to Mike Brown. I mean, he's done a fantastic coaching job, and especially in these playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done incredible. I mean, it's like, look. To be fair, when he was in Cleveland, he made the finals, and I was like, oh, because LeBron, prime LeBron, he's gonna get his team to the finals. So he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Eventually,
but
he gets
I know it
fired.
was against the Dynasty Spurs team with Tim Duncan
Oh
and
yeah, the
Tony Parker and all those guys. So.
oh god, yeah, those are great teams back then. Um, let's see. So he gets fired from there. He kind of bounces around the league as an assistant, and it's like he was an assistant under Steve Kerr and those that dynasty, Golden State Warriors dynasty. So he probably learned a lot from
And
that
Greg
too.
Popovich as well.
He's an assistant with Pop too. Okay, I didn't know. I knew about the
He
So he
mentioned that. I think it was
okay.
after Game 3.
So he's won some championships as an assistant, but so yeah, he gets experience with the Golden State Warriors. Did he take the Kings job, the head coaching job
Yeah,
there? I think he
and
did. Yeah,
I heard he did a great job with the Kings as well. I think he
yeah,
won
but
Rookie of the Year.
yeah. So I think he's improved as a head coach over the years, and I'm thinking this is Mike Brown from the Cavaliers. That's why I was like, oh fucking hell, they hired him.
I think his
But
upbeat personality helps too, compared to
he's
Tibbs.
totally he's the opposite of Tom Thibodeau. I mean, he's the total opposite of him. And I
Yeah,
think maybe that's what this team needed. And I'm wrong because I was an old school basketball guy, and it's like, oh my, Tom Thibodeau is perfect for this team, and he'll take us to a championship. And he took us to the Eastern Conference Finals, but it wasn't good enough. I mean, maybe his style doesn't get you a championship. Maybe you need someone like a Mike Brown, especially in today's NBA, where guys are a lot more sensitive and guys are, they respond more to that positive reinforcement from a head coach. So maybe it was the right call by Leon Rose and ultimately James Dolan. I'm not sure what role he had in hiring Mike Brown, but ultimately I think it was the right call, and I'm wrong. So
it's funny
I
how or I guess amazing how the Knicks just keep getting better year by year by year by year. They just keep getting
yeah
better. So
yeah. So that's something that we're not used to either. Because the Knicks seem like that worse every year under previous before Jalen Brunson got here. I mean, this seemed they got worse, and I remember that lineup. I mean, Derek Fisher was hired by Phil Jackson. I'm like, Derek Fisher? Like what? I mean, you're trying to recreate the triangle offense in the modern NBA. You have no chance. I mean, it's like that worked in the '90s, but
Who was that
today
other
it's
coach? Don Zell or whatever his name is. He was
uh,
old and had glasses.
it was
He
the interim. Wasn't the interim head coach? I forget
no,
against.
he started head coaching them in 2018, I believe.
Uh,
He's known for that quote, "Take that to the data" or whatever it is. Um,
oh, well, I don't know. I know you're talking about. I just remember his name.
yeah,
Hold on, Knicks head coach. Wait, coaches.
Fitzgerald, or maybe it's Fitzgerald.
Let's see. Alright. Oh, David Fisdale. That's what you're
David
talking about.
Fitzgerald, yeah.
So he was supposed to be the savior. It didn't work out.
Don't forget
So
Mike D'Antoni as well.
oh, look. The thing with Mike D'Antoni is his teams don't play defense. They're all just on 7 second offense. You get down the court, you score, you come back. It's like running up and down the floor, but they don't play any defense. His team,
Yeah.
so
And
you're
I
never
remember
gonna win like that.
I wasn't really a big fan at the time when the Knicks fired what's his name, Mike Woodson. Was that his name? Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
I
I
was just
remember
going to bring him up now.
because I actually
He
thought he
was
did a pretty good job with the Knicks.
Yeah,
But
he was the best coach the Knicks had until Tom Thibodeau and Mike Brown. He was probably their best coach
yeah,
because Larry Brown was here a year. They were awful. He kept fighting with Stephon Marbury. It's like, yeah, that wasn't gonna work. I mean, Larry Brown, legendary head coach, champion, but it just wasn't gonna work. Their personalities just did this, and Larry Brown also wouldn't play the rookies, which is another issue. He was an old school coach, so never played the young guys, just stuck with the older guys. And he fought with Stephon Marbury, and I was like, he's not going to last. And he did. He was gone after the first year, and they had to buy him out, gave him $50 million just to go away. So, and then, then I said, Isaiah Thomas took over as head coach after that. Knicks were awful then, too. They didn't make Isaiah Thomas was 56 and 108 as the Knicks head coach.
sorry, you're kind of breaking up a bit.
My hand is on the wire, so let me get that
Oh,
out of there. That's probably what happened. Um, Sorry about that. The Knicks, Isaiah Tom, and then D'Antoni took over, and then Mike Woodson took over, and that's when the Knicks had their best years. And then Phil Jackson came in, and guess who? They hired Derek Fisher. Terrible. He was
yeah.
40-96, fired after 2 seasons. Oh, a year and a half, and then Kurt Rambis coached him for a while, and he was terrible. And then Jeff Hornacek took over, and he was 60 and 104, and then Fizdale took over. And this is the only reason why they hired Fizdale, because they thought they were getting LeBron James and not Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. And the Knicks, LeBron James and Kyrie, no, it was Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Sorry, I stuck LeBron in there for some reason. And and they both had great relationship with David Fizdale, so it's like, let's just bring him in. Hopefully, he can convince them to come to the Knicks and rebuild this franchise pretty quickly. It turns out they, of course, went to the Brooklyn Nets, and Fizdale sucked as a head coach, and he was fired.
What a joke the Nets have become.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, the Nets are awful. So Durant and Irving didn't do much. Irving was really really anti-COVID, and he sat out all the home games because or anti-COVID vaccine, I should say, and he
I
sat
thought he
out
was
most of the
against
games.
the mandates.
And New York had mandates, so he only played in the road games when the time he came back. So he didn't play at home at all that year because New York City and New York State had the mandates. So let's see. So then they got James Harden, and they had three. They had the big three there. Didn't work out. Harden's gone. Durant was gone. He was traded, and Irving was gone too. So they started from scratch basically. It was awful. I mean, unfortunately, they never won a championship. This is not the first time the Nets have done this. They did it when they brought in Kevin Durant, Paul Pierce, and the other guy, Terry Allen, I think. they were all older by that point. So they've done this before. They've gotten these big threes, and they're gonna have a dynasty. Then it never happens. So
And of course,
now they have,
Jackson was their coach too.
yeah. Kenny Axington was the head coach,
Atkinson.
which either, yeah, and Kyrie and Kevin Durant didn't like him, so he was fired, and they brought in, who was it? It was Steve Nash or Jason Kidd. It was one
Yeah,
of them.
Steve Nash. Yeah,
It was Steve Nash, and he was a disaster. Nobody respected him, unfortunately, because he never been a coach before. So it was more like, I mean, clearly Durant and Irving didn't really respect him, so they did whatever they wanted, and didn't work out either. He was fired. So yeah, it just was a disaster. Then it started out with Brunson. Tom Thibodeau was hired, and then they pulled off. Leon Rose pulled off some shrewd trades. I mean, Josh Hart, Josh Hart was kind of bouncing around the league at that point, and he just, he was okay, he was serviceable, but he just bounced around the league, and he got him, put him next to Brunson, and it's like all of a sudden you see his potential, rise, and they got I forget who else because it was Josh Hart, I'm blanking, Jalen Brunson, and then the cat trade was the final trade he made before last season. And I'm like, Cat. I mean, he's a great shooter and he stores a lot of points, but he doesn't play defense. So I'm like, and he had his issues with Tom Thibodeau too when they were in Minnesota. So it's like, I don't know how it's gonna work out. And it did. It worked out. They got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but ultimately, it just didn't work. And he was fired. Thibodeau was fired. Mike Brown come in here, and all of a sudden, they finished 53-29. They were third. They were the third seed. Even though if they played the way they played in these playoffs, they should have been number one seed and not even close. So, let's see. They crush everyone, destroy everyone. It's like, what the hell, man? Oops. And I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, none of these games are close, and I'm happy about that because I don't have to have a heart attack every time.
that offense is really relentless. I mean, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Hey Vic. Thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm glad that you were able to come on for a little bit. I didn't expect anybody in the chat because it's so late in the East Coast, and I'm sure everybody's about to go to sleep. So, also, I was like, the Knicks dominated, and I'm just looking like, oops, hold on.
Jesus H. Christ.
It's like, I was just shocked. I'm happy shocked, but at the same time, it's still very shocked that they pulled this off.
You're kind of breaking up a bit.
Uh, Sorry about that because I shouldn't be breaking up.
It's
Okay,
better.
okay. I think the mic was too close to my headphones, but
Also, the New York Sports Radio with W Fan and ESPN New York, they're all. It's going to be a huge day tomorrow for each
oh yeah, when we wake up tomorrow morning and and look at Twitter or New York radio, it's like the Knicks fans are gonna go nuts. And they wait, look, and we deserve it. I mean, the Knicks have been so awful for decades that we deserve this. So we deserve this team. We deserve this appearance in the finals. And it's not over. They got to win four more games, and I'm not just expecting. I'm not happy with just, hey, we made the finals.
Yeah, still got more.
I'm not happy with. I'm not going to be happy with that. It's been 25 years plus.
Speaking of which, I'm just so glad with the Knicks how they're not taking anything seriously in the interviews. They're taking things seriously. They're not taking anything for granted. There's like, as
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant would say, job's not finished.
No, it's not.
It's like,
It's not finished.
Girl,
So it's 9:48 Pacific time. So yeah, so it's a 3-hour time difference. It's almost 1 a.m. here in the East Coast. So excuse me. So unfortunately, I can't play any of the interviews and like that. It's all copyrighted by the NBA. So yeah, so we saw the trophy celebration or the what's that
Presentation.
called, presentation. Thank you. And it was Patrick Ewing and the other guy, Walt Clyde Frazier. Yeah, walk by Frazier, and it was a nice little moment there. And Jalen Brunson, of course, was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, well deserved. I mean, he single handedly,
Really set the tone.
yeah, that game one set the tone, and I'm like, I know that it's over, but I don't want to say it out loud or post it anywhere because I might be jinxing it. So
Well, it
yeah,
was just, I knew it was over. I just, what I was saying, worst case scenario, they win in 6 games. It was never going to go
yeah,
7. So,
no, because even if the Cavaliers win tonight, Game Five was at the Garden, and they had no chance.
yeah.
They beat the Knicks at the Garden, so it would have been over in one way or another pretty soon. So I'm glad it's over tonight, so we don't have to worry about it. The next game at the Garden is Game Three of the Finals because the first two games either going to be in San Antonio or in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So because they have home field, they have home court, so because they have better records than the Knicks did. So
They just need
the
to win at
next,
least one of those games there.
yeah, they need to win either Game One or Game Two, gain home. I keep saying home field, home court, and if they win the next two games of the Garden,
So there's that.
yeah, if they win the next two games of the Garden, they're up 3-1, and championship is pretty much it. I don't want to say that their championship. They need one win away from the championship at that point, so they don't need to continue this winning streak. Even though it'd be nice. Imagine winning four more games in a row and
Yeah.
win like 15 consecutive games, whatever the number would be, heading to the championship. I mean, that would be one of the most dominating playoff runs in NBA history, and to go from being this 10 years ago being atrocious to that. I mean, that's just
It's going to be a
and for
little
the
frustrating.
Knicks.
They have to face against the Oklahoma City Floppers, as I would call
Oh
them.
God, especially Shea Gilders Alexander. The guy is every time he takes a jumper, he falls on his ass. Like it's like, what are you doing? And the referees fall for it and call fouls. It's like he's obviously flopping and falling on his ass. Like
Also,
what the hell, you guys?
I forgot to say earlier, I hope some of the others like Misty and Sappy Saps are doing okay.
Yeah, I mean that Boston series was brutal. I mean, I don't know how they lost to the Sixers, but actually, how the Knicks easily destroyed them. So, and
And then
the
Jalen Brown was making all the excuses about there was agenda against them and the refs and all that stuff.
oh, that was horrible because he went on his Twitch stream, and still made more excuses, and it was like, dude, grow up. You lost. I mean,
Yeah.
you could say the
You're
referees
up
made the
3
bad.
1 to a 3-1 series lead. Like, there's no excuse.
Yeah, you guys just lost to an inferior team. It happens. You just gotta put your head. You're already an NBA champion, and
Yeah.
talks that Jalen Brown might be traded in the offseason. Which is really the Celtics want to give up on it. Not really give up on it, but they want to move him. That's interesting. I wonder whether this issue
Breaking up a little bit again.
what's going on with Mike. I don't know. But I should catch it. So I don't know what's going on with Mike. Maybe it's hopefully that makes a little bit more.
I can't hear.
What?
No.
Can't hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why. I'm like,
Oh, but now it's lower again. It might be
you know
having.
what? Yeah, hold on. Let's see.
Wait, keep talking. I might be able to hear you better now.
Yeah, I mean, I just turned off some settings here, so hopefully it's better.
Sounds better right now.
Okay, yeah, I've turned on like noise reduction and stuff was on. That's what I'm guessing. That's why it was low. Um, excuse me. So yeah, I mean, this is great. Fantastic job by the Knicks. Fantastic job by Mike Brown. I mean, I have to give him props
Yeah.
at this point. He's the head coach of the Knicks, and he's going. I believe he's going to lead us to a championship. Hopefully this year. So,
Yeah.
let's see. So we can preview the finals. I mean, so far the only thing I'm concerned about with the Spurs is Wembanyama. It's like who's going to match up
Yeah.
with him? Who's going to match up with that guy? Carl, think Cat? Can Cat stay in front of him and defend him consistently? You're gonna have to double him. I don't think he can. You have to go and double him, and then other guys are open, and hopefully they don't make their threes because if they do, the Knicks have a tough time winning that series.
Yeah.
So the Oklahoma City Thunder, even though they're the defending champions, I'm not. They seem like they're a better matchup for the Knicks because they don't have that big 7-footer that can shoot threes. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein was with the Knicks last year, or no, 2 years ago, and
They also
you
have
know,
some injuries right now, and
yeah,
I guess they're not quite as good as they were last year. So um,
yeah, that's why I would prefer OKC because they match up
and
better
the
than the
Knicks
Knicks,
could have
and
won the series against the Thunder, so Knicks could have a
yeah,
chance too. So
that's why I think the Thunder are a better matchup for the Knicks because they don't have that big 7-footer that can shoot threes and spread the floor. So it's Isaiah Hartenstein. I liked him with the Knicks. He was a great player, great hustle guy. He gets rebounds. He can score at times. So I felt I was not happy when he left. I understand why he left. I mean, they Thunder paid him $100 million or near that number. The Knicks couldn't afford that, so he had to go. So I get it, but at the same time, he's not a 3-point shooter. So I think Knicks have an advantage there because he's not the Thunder aren't able to spread the floor much, and you have Shea Gildish Alexander foul baiting and flopping.
yeah.
So that pisses me off every time I see him do that. It's like, oh,
Did
like
you see
you're
his
falling.
press conference last night after they lost? When trying to answer the question about the center or whoever, it was like, yeah, did you see that video?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, no, just answer the question. It's like, so, excuse me. So, yeah, the Knicks have done a great job. I like their chances in this finals, especially if it's Oklahoma City. The Spurs, I think they can still win, but it's gonna be tougher
Yeah.
because they're gonna have to guard. Forgot.
It's not going to be a sweep. I don't think it's
No,
going to be a sweep.
no. I'd be if it's a sweep. I mean, the Knicks are the greatest. We had the greatest playoff run of all time, even better than the Lakers did when they went 15-1. Because it's like, but I don't think they'll sweep. I mean, let's just make that clear. My prediction is they win. The Knicks win in 6 or 7. It's going to be a tough NBA Finals. It's going to be a war of attrition, basically. You're not going to win easily. So I know the Knicks have gotten used to winning easily, but that's what they've done throughout this
Or
run. But
as Brian Cashman or Randy Levine would say, it's a crapshoot. Or Hal Steinbrenner, it's a crapshoot.
mhm. Yeah. So the Knicks turned it's not a crapshoot now when the Knicks played. I mean, but these finals are going to go 6, 7 games. It's going to be a war of attrition. They're going to have to win some tough games. No matter whether it's OKC or the Spurs. So they're going to have to gritty, tough games. They're going to have to win those games. So we'll see what happens, but I think they can do it because they've done it throughout the playoffs and they've won. They've had some great wins, but they're all blowouts for the most part. So let's be like completely honest. It's not like they've won some tough games. They need to win some tough games this time
They've
in the
had some tough
finals.
wins too.
hmm
That game 2 against the 76ers, and then of course game 1 against the Cavs. So they've had some tough wins. So
Yeah. So that's fair. Yeah. Um. So let's go back to uh. Yeah, let's go back to Game 3. The next one, with Hawks series, they won 114-98, and
you mean game 4? Or was it game?
yeah,
4?
one, two.
Game 3 they lost
That
that.
was Game 3.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, game 3 they lost game 3. They were down 2-1 in that series against the Hawks.
Okay, so they won 114-98, and then in the final game they won 126-97, and that's when
Oh wait,
the run started.
About the Hawks or the 76ers?
The Hawks series, yeah, the
No,
Hawks
the
series.
final game they won 140-89, I believe. So
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a total blowout. So the Sixers series, oh my god, I mean, it was. So game 1 was I think the closest, 108-102,
no, the
and
second game
then
was It was a close game throughout, but then
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm confusing the dates here because the dates are all messed up. But yeah, the closest one was game two. Game one was a 137-98. Game two, 108,
game three was
102.
kind of close, but then the Knicks were starting to pull away. And
Yeah, they pulled away late. It's 108-94, but it was close until like the fourth quarter when the Knicks kind of pulled away and was done. Um, and then the final game, 144-114. That was just a drubbing to the
yeah.
point where it was just embarrassing. I
And
mean,
the Knicks fans took over that arena.
and they took over the Cavs arena too. I mean, it wasn't like it. What was pathetic was the Cavs put out like a statement talking about
Oh
how
yeah, before game
you
three.
yeah, you need to come out, you need to support us, you need to put on the t-shirt, you need to wave those towels. It was pathetic. It was like because they knew Knicks fans didn't take over, so that's why they put out that horrible statement where they were like, "You got to come out and support us," and blah 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 blah. And it's like it wasn't going to work anyways. I mean, you guys blew game one, and that's devastating. So game one was 115-104. It went to overtime when they came back. They came back from that 20+ point deficit,
Yeah,
which was historic. Jalen Brunson carried the Knicks to that win, and he deserves all the credit for that.
yeah.
Game two was 109-93. Game three was 121-108. And tonight's game was 130-93. I mean, it was.
They were down 8-2 to start the game as well.
Yeah, they trailed for a little bit, like, okay, the Cavs putting up a fight, and then after that, the Knicks just
I kind of
blew
felt
past
a
them.
little bad for Donovan Mitchell because he was the only one who really showed up for the Cavs. And
He was the only one that him, and he was the only one really that you saw like consistently trying to fight, and he's by himself. Harden, I think all Harden was thinking about was making his next check so he can go to the strip club and make it rain. That's what he was thinking about. I don't think he really cares anymore.
I
He
guess,
just
after when Donovan Mitchell said, I'm glad the Mets beat the Yankees or whatever, I guess it's probably all doomed for him.
Yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell. I don't know what. I mean, the Cavs have a lot of question marks. Like, what do you do with him? Do you re-sign him? Do you let him go? So Harden, they're stuck with Harden. I mean, I don't see how any team picks him up after that performance in the playoffs. And the Sixers are gonna have to rebuild. I don't see how you bring that same team back and lose in the first or second round again. So the Hawks are up and coming. They're young. We're gonna see them
They're
again in the
the only ones
playoffs.
that won against us.
Yeah, the only one that really played us hard and won 2 games. So we're gonna see them again. So they're good young. They're gonna be you're gonna see them again next year. So no matter what happens in this playoffs. So one more thing. Of course, we predict the Knicks to win because we're fans. We're not going to predict the other team to win. But I want to throw a scenario out there before we go. So as we all know, Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to be a Knick. I mean, they've heard these rumors all year
The
long
Bucks
that
player, right?
he plays for the Bucks and he wants to get traded to the Knicks, and that's the only team he's willing to get traded to. So he's like a superstar. He's like 7 feet tall. He can't shoot the three, so it's kind of like okay, but he can. Dude, he can drive to the basket and dunk it. Like nobody can stop him once he gets downhill. So anyways, if the Knicks win the championship, there's no chance that they trade for him. They're gonna bring this team back next season, like
Yeah.
Completely intact.
Maybe
If they
make
don't win,
maybe make some minor changes, but
maybe yeah, obviously you're not gonna be able to bring back the entire team, especially like guys like Landry Shamet and McBride. These guys are teams are gonna covet them
Jose
because
Alvarado.
yeah, I mean they're gonna covet these guys because they're great shooters and maybe they'll have a starting job on a bad team. So not a bad team, but mediocre. They come off the bench. They make more money, so that's why they probably would take it. But yeah, I don't think you can't bring back the same exact team unless some of these guys are willing to take less money just to come back. So yeah. So if the Knicks lose, do they trade for Giannis? Do they blow this up and kind of put Giannis with
They're
Jalen
not going to
Brunson
blow it
and
up. No way.
no, I'm not saying completely blow it up, but get Giannis, in here. So that means they would have to trade Cat basically to make the money match.
I don't know if I
So,
trade Cat though, because I like when he shoots the threes. So
mhm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, I agree, but I like at first I didn't like. I wasn't in love with him, but now it's like, oh yeah, they need to. Like, there's no chance they could. I don't want him traded now at all. So it's like, will the Knicks get desperate and bring in Giannis? I don't know. Hopefully not, because actually this team plays well in the finals. I
also
mean,
chemistry is important too. So
yeah, like these guys have great chemistry. The way they move the basketball, the way they are unselfish, the way that the way they hustle on defense, they play hard consistently. I mean, it's like basically my type of basketball, and I like it because
yeah,
it's like the basketball is not stagnant. It's not just in Jalen Brunson's hands. He's going one-on-one isolation and putting up ridiculous shots. He doesn't do that. So, and like like Carmelo Anthony did. Let's just not talk about that Carmelo Anthony era. I mean, yes, he's a great scorer, but his defense wasn't that great, and that's what he would do. He would go in isolation. He would just dribble the ball for 20 seconds, put up a shot. It was a terrible shot selection. Sometimes it would go in, a lot of times it wouldn't. So
don't forget
he
the Knicks
didn't.
had Amari Stoudemire.
They signed Amari Stoudemire with that horrible knee surgery that he had, and
Yeah.
I'm like, no team would pick him up because of that microfracture knee surgery he had. It was just his knee wasn't. It was basically hanging on by a thread, and the Knicks gave him 140, $150 million. And I'm like, it's not the same Amari Stoudemire. So they put Amari Stoudemire, hobbled one with Carmelo Anthony, and thought that would work. Then it didn't work, of course. They made the playoffs once in 2012, and they got to the second round before getting beat by the Pacers. And I'm like, and Carmelo Anthony said something I never forget. Oh, we'll be back next year. Oh yeah, we'll be back. I mean, don't worry about that. They never got back to the playoffs, and Carmelo
Also,
Anthony era
I wonder what
again.
Paul Pierce is gonna say now after all the posts he keeps crapping on the Knicks.
Yeah, it is like they never got back to the postseason under Carmelo Anthony, and eventually, he left, and the Knicks had to start from scratch basically. And the Phil Jackson Carmelo Anthony Cold War was ridiculous. It was like, oh
Also, don't forget the Knicks also had Jeremy Lin.
oh yeah, Jeremy Linsanity. I mean,
Insanity.
we were all kind of like, I was like, okay, this kid came out of nowhere off the bench, and he's good. He's good to great, for a few games, but it wasn't gonna last. It was ultimately he rode out the rest of the season, and then the Rockets offered him that ridiculous contract, like $100 million over 4 years, and I was like, hopefully the Knicks don't match because I like him. He's a good player, but ultimately he's not worth that money, and they didn't match, thank God. And also, I think partly because our Carmelo Anthony was jealous of Jeremy Lin's success and popularity, so it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole other drama between the two. Even though Carmelo Anthony claims on his podcast that he wasn't jealous, it was like, dude, you were jealous. I mean, it's super obvious. You an egomaniac. You wanted to be the number one option, and Jeremy Lin coming in here and with Lin Sanity, all of a sudden, your stock is going down, and like, I can't have that. So he basically probably forced him out of New York. So he had his career. He had a good career, bounced around the league a little bit, hurt his knees too. So it's like he made a lot of money, had a great career. So that's all you can really say. He was successful, but yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks got back to the finals. I am looking forward to Game One next Wednesday. So it's a full week, 8 days before, 8 days later. I mean, and
And make
yeah,
sure
I'm
to watch
really.
more content with Josh Harda and Jalen Brunson on YouTube.
I
The show.
Yeah, I like their podcast. That's the whole other thing. They have great chemistry. They won a couple championships when they were at Villanova, and they were teammates there, the best friends, they're teammates here. That chemistry, I think, like you said, is important with these guys. You break this up, you break up that chemistry and try to bring in Giannis over and you know put the Giannis on this team. And Giannis is older too. I mean, he's not the guy he was a few years ago when he won a championship with
How old is
Milwaukee.
he?
So I could check. I don't know exactly his age. Giannis. There you
I'll
go.
check how old Cat is.
Uh,
Okay, so Cat is 30. I just
okay. Giannis is 31. They're around the same age. So
31. You said
yeah, they're around the same age.
it's
So
fairly.
it's not like
So
it's like Giannis is a year older, but problem is with Giannis, he doesn't shoot the three, and Cat does. I mean, he's tried to improve his 3 point shooting, but it's just not coming for him. He's just not a 3 point shooter, and that's fine. I mean, that's
I
fine,
probably
but
maybe wait till like the next trade deadline. I just don't think you want to. They should break up Cats.
if the Knicks win, there's no chance they break up these guys. They come back next season, or at least the starting lineup does. I mean, the bench you have to probably switch it around because a lot of those guys are going to sign by other teams, make more money. So, sorry, that's called the championship tax. You have to pay guys more to keep them. So that's even the starting lineup. I mean, you have to pay these guys more because they won a title, especially the Knicks. They won a title since 1973, been over 50 years. So these guys are going to be, if they win a championship, these guys are going to be New York legends. Like they're never going to have to pay for another meal again at a restaurant. I mean, they're going to be given free meals, free whatever they want in order to, because they're so happy that we finally won a championship. So yeah, those are our thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comments because I knew nobody'd be in the chat because it's so late. But yeah, tell me in the comments what you think about this. You're a Knicks fan. You're a Knicks hater. I mean, you happen to come across this. You're a Knicks hater. I mean, comment your hate on below. I'm probably not going to respond to it, but still, comment your hate below because you have every right to do that. So let's see. Make sure you check out Angel in the Afternoon on Friday. We are doing pro wrestling talk on Saturday, I assume, because there's no pay per view. So check that out.
You also saw the post I made that Logan Paul has a torn.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So we'll probably talk about that Saturday more. And yeah, so we're you know looking forward to Wednesday, 8:30, NBA Finals, either in Oklahoma City or San Antonio. We'll see what happens. We'll see whether the Knicks continue their winning streak. And we'll also see whether they can get the 4 more wins against that elusive ring.
Yeah.
I don't even have Knicks merch. I mean, it's been years since I think I had a Stephon Marbury jersey, but I probably got rid of it because I didn't see it. So it's like I don't. And now I'm gonna get Knicks merch again because they're finally good and they're finally back in the finals and they're finally hopefully gonna fucking win. So yeah, so those are my final thoughts. Make sure you like and subscribe. We went longer than I thought we would because shit. I mean, yeah, I'm so happy and we got so much to talk about that it's like we went more than I thought we would. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, favorite, comments, share the content. Thank you very much. Oh wait, wrong tab. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your week. Check out Ian's content. Tomorrow, Indy's going live at 10. Reef and Collins going live at 9. Thursday, I assume Indy's going to do something. Friday, of course, you come back with us for Angel in the afternoon. And Saturday's Pro Wrestling Talk. So check out all Vine shows. Make sure you like and subscribe to INN. We're close to 3,000 subs. Hopefully we can get there before the end of the year. And yeah, that's all I have to say.